We are in the consideration of the all, and all consideration is with us. We are one with the all, and the all is one with us. We are all that we need with the all, and our need is for being with the all. We are successful with the all, and the all is successful with us. We are always with the all, and the all is always with us. The all is, we are. The all can, we can. The all does, we do. Rawat, greetings. I am Nadi Ta'el, here to present a video pertaining to the fact that Facebook has banned me from using their social media network because I posted a meme of Tiffany Haddish, and on the bottom it said black equals slave. They banned me considering that hate speech, saying that it goes against their community standards. So I've been banned for the past 3 days. The fact that black equals slave is the truth, and that's a fact. Black has no standing at law. Those who self-identify as black African American are in fact identifying as slave chattel property. Black has no standing at law. I identify for commerce purposes as white. I'm indigenous to Tiamat, misnomer Earth. I'm an Autochthon. I'm not a United States corporate entity. I am flesh and blood. I am not the body. I'm a spiritual being. As I say, is my hand, right? My feet, my legs, it's mine. Who am I? Who am I? I am that I am. I am not the body. I would like to further get into this video and share the fact that black has no standing at law, and more knowledge pertaining to black equaling slave, and the fact that Facebook is in support of leper supremacy, which is misnomer white supremacy. Facebook is in support of human trafficking. Facebook is in support of genocide, crimes against humanity, for the reason being, the reason is that they banned me for sharing the truth, and they consider me sharing the truth by helping those to overstand reality, that if you check the white box, your situation gets better, and that is the fact. And that is also the message that was in Tiffany Haddish's comedy performance. She checked the white box, her life got better. I'm sharing the fact that black equals slave, and that is a fact, and that's the truth, and I stand with the truth. I'm going to continue. I'm using this little handheld camera, so bear with me. This is the post that I put up. I'm going to try to keep it still. Listen, I said I'm white, which is the fact. It's the truth. Tiffany Haddish said that she is white, and she also explained that her life has changed for the better after checking the white box when it asks for race and ethnicity, the definition, or for when it asks you to choose which race or ethnicity to self-identify with. Minorities known as children, that is a fact. Accept fantasy, make-believe, and participate in it, also a fact. Black equals slave, also a fact. So these are all just facts. Right here it says black or African American, excuse me, let me do this properly. The Integrated Post-Secondary Education Data System. This is online. You could look this up. Please do your own research. Definitions for new race and ethnicity category. Whenever you have a document that asks you to self-identify with a race or ethnicity, this is what they're using. This is what they're going by. 2020 census as well. Categories developed in 1997 by the Office of Management and Budget that are used to describe groups to which individuals belong, identify with, or belong in the eyes of the community. The categories do not denote scientific definition or anthropological origins. The designations are used to categorize United States citizens, resident aliens, and or eligible non-citizens. Individuals are asked to first designate ethnicity as, so on and so forth. So let's move forward to the categories. The categories, second, individuals are asked to indicate one or more races that apply among the following: American Indian or Alaskan Native, Asian, Black or African American, Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander, and white. Before we continue, I want to just read one more thing again. It says, the categories do not denote scientific definition or anthropological origins. All right? What does anthropological mean? So we're just going to look at that right quick right here. Anthropology, science of natural history of man. I hope this camera is picking up what I'm pointing it at. Okay, science of the natural history of man. 1590s, originally, especially, of the relation between physiology and psychology, from modern Latin. All right, so science of the natural history of man. Okay, so the categories do not denote the science or the natural history of man, but what they do denote is status and standing at law. Black equals slavery. This is what I'm banned for off of Facebook, right? For me putting up this post. So let's continue. All these definitions, except for black, is a person having origins in any of the original peoples of. So we're going to start with the races, okay? Hispanic or Latino, that is in the, it's not in the race category. Hispanic or Latino, a person of Cuban, Mexican, Puerto Rican, South or Central America, or other Spanish cultures or origins regardless of race, right? So here goes the race categories. American Indian or Alaskan Native, a person having origins in any of the original people of, right? Original people of, just, that's the key point, right? Asian, a person having origins in any of the original peoples of, right? Black or African American, a person having origins in any of the black racial groups of Africa. Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander, a person having origins in any of the original peoples of. White, a person having origins in any of the original peoples of. Black is synonymous with Negro, it's synonymous with chattel, cattle, slave. And we're gonna get into that further. First, I want to share a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa. This is why, listen, I said I'm white. Tiffany Haddish said she's white. I'm white. I am white. For commerce purposes, I am white. And also, the definition is a person having origins in any of the original peoples of. This is North Africa, where I am, misnomer, but the landmass is what, on document paper, what they consider to be North Africa, right? So, I am white. Europe, named after an Ethiopian princess, Europa, those that descended from Europe are descendants of individuals who look like Cheddar Man right here. First, modern Britons had dark to black skin. Cheddar Man DNA analysis reveals. So, first modern Britons who lived about 10,000 years ago had dark to black skin. A groundbreaking DNA analysis of Great Britain's oldest complete skeleton has revealed. This is scientific fact. This is the facts. This is facts. This isn't fiction. This isn't how you feel. This is the facts, the truth. Also, some more truth. People of white British ancestry alive today are descendants of this population. This population right here. Dark to black skin. But those who self-identify, right, as white are descendants of this population. And those who are pale skin, right, they self-identify as white, but they're pale skin, right? And they label those who they see today that look like this black. They'll call a person black knowing that they're a descendant of dark to black skin beings, but yet they self-identify as white. Why is that? because they know the truth and most don't. Black equals slave. What is the definition of etymology of black, right? Let's go to the etymology. The old dictionary. Can I get this to be larger? Right quick. Zoom. All right. Black. Adjective. Bright, shining, glittering, flashing, pale. Can you see that right there? Pale. Black. Pale. Pale. Black. Let's go into this one right here. No, go back some. Black. These are old dictionaries. These are old original meanings, excuse me. Black. Irritation of the skin. Leprosy, right? We're dealing with leper supremacy. Leprosy. Pale skin. Those who are getting wiped out by the sun. Number one cause of death for the pale-skinned lepers is the sun, and we live in a solar system, right? Sun system. So, again, black, pale, leprosy. That's the original meaning. So I'm going to come back over here right quick and just reiterate that lepers who claim to be white know the fact that they are descendants of dark to black skin, which they title black because they don't want you to know that you're white, because they want to keep you as a slave, indentured slave, black, Negro, chattel, cattle, to be the copper top, copper tone beings to fuel and energize and power and run the program supporting leper supremacy and in fact your own and genocide of your own people. Did I define hate? I think I did. So where else did I want to go with this? Black. We're going to define black in the old dictionaries. That's what we're going to do right now. So you can have a better understanding of black being a slave. So black, right here. Negro. Black is synonymous with Negro. So Negro and black are one and the same. I'm going to go over here to slave. Black is synonymous with Negro. Negro and black are one and the same. They just changed these names, these titles. Still slave. It's the same as a slave. Slave, a human being who is owned by and absolutely subject to another human being as by capture, purchase, or birth bond servant, divested of all freedom and personal rights. Divested of all freedoms and personal rights. Divested means deprived. So, a bond servant deprived of all freedoms and personal rights. That's what a slave is, okay? Slave trade, there we go. Slave trade, traffic in slaves, specifically the former transportation of African Negroes to America for sale as slaves. America is a corporation. It's a trading company doing business and trading its property, which is chattel, which is cattle, which is their slaves, which is black, which is Negro. Let's continue. Chattel, an article of personal or movable property as distinguished from real property, furniture, automobiles, livestock, farm equipment, etc. are chattels. A slave is chattel, black, Negro, African American. It's chattel. chattel, property, or goods, also a movable possession, any article of property other than real estate or a freehold, sometimes a slave. I have to go back right quick. 1 sec. Did I already get chattel, a slave? Okay, just to make sure. Alright, that one. This one says, this one's chattel, sometimes a slave, right? And then we're going to go over here right quick to cattle. Cattle, property or goods, also chattel, also livestock. So it's sometimes a slave. Well, when it's livestock, black, African American, Negro, synonymous. Let's continue. There are 4 types of citizens: a national, naturalized, and subjects. All right. What is chattel? Property. Subjected to whatever the owner, desires. This is where corporations, United States of America, U.S. Union States, the state of Florida, the state of California, state of, so on and so forth, right? The corporations rest, and corporate people rest there as well. Negroes, colored, blacks, right? We just defined black, right? Black and Negro, synonymous. And there it is again, showing you black and Negro being synonymous. Here's some more. It's facts. Citizen. This was off of an app on my Apple phone, so all of you can get this. All natives, everything I'm sharing you guys can get online too as well. All natives are not citizens of the United States. The descendants of the Aborigines and those of African origin are not entitled to the rights of citizens. Right quick. You heard that, right? A person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa. All natives are not citizens of the United States. The descendants of the Aborigines and those of African origin. White. A person having origins in any of the original peoples of North Africa, right? I just had to skip to North Africa real quick, just so you guys have a better understanding that you'll never be a citizen, never were you meant to be a citizen, and this happens to do with status and standing at law, right? It has not to do with anthropological origins. It has nothing to do with it, nothing at all. So if it's having to do with status and standing at law, right? And we know that the highest ranking citizen is, as they put it, but no. You're not a citizen. These are the natural, aboriginal, and indigenous inhabitants of the land. Not citizens. You see? This is a citizen, and it tells you right here that all natives are not citizens of the United States, the descendants of the Aborigines, and those of African origin. So that's crystal clear. Black, African American, Negro, chattel property equals slave. Let's continue. First, there exists no black nation. There's no black racial groups of Africa. They don't exist. There's no black nation of black America, nor is there a black America in any documented record the world over. Black Americans are what is referred to in law as a misnomer, or collectively misnomers. As you well know, grammatically, black is an adjective and is not a proper noun. Socially and politically, black implies civiliter mortuus, which means dead in the eyes of law. Black American is not a nationality, nor is it a nation. Therefore, black has no political interest nor powers in the free national constitution that was prepared for all free national beings. Again, dead in the eyes of the law. Where is it? Civiliter mortuus. Do I have that up here? Oh, let's go ahead and listen in.
The second principle put down by Chief Justice Taney in the Dred Scott decision was that blacks cannot be citizens of the United States. In a sense, Dred Scott can't even sue because he's not an American. This is one of the best examples of this notion of blacks as aliens. Even though he's born here and everything, he is not an American. The American family, as Taney says, is for white people. And in the most famous sentence in that decision, he says, "A black man has no rights which a white man is bound to respect." Now, he's not saying blacks can be killed with impunity. What he's saying is, legally speaking, they are not part of the body politic. They are not part of the we the people that created the Constitution, and therefore they're just outside of the system. So they don't have any rights.
They don't have any rights. They're outside of the body politic. They're slaves, chattel property. I shared the fact, black equals slave. That's a fact. Facebook supports genocide, human trafficking. Let's continue. Negro Law of South Carolina, Chapter 1, the Statutes of the Negro, His Rights and Disabilities, Section 4. The term Negro is confined to slave Africans. The term Negro is confined to slave Africans, right? So subjects, this is where corporations, right, rest, and corporate people rest there as well. Negroes, coloreds, blacks. A Negro is confined to slave Africans, right? And then all natives are not citizens of the United States. The descendants of the Aborigines and those of African origin are not citizens. Not citizens. Negro, synonymous with black, colored, Negro, blacks, African Americans. Misnomer, those are chattel property. Excuse me, those are titles for chattel slave property. The term Negro is confined to slave. Those titles are synonymous, interchangeable. What was I going to share? Right, this is what I wanted to share. This is from the International Post-Secondary Education Data System. Okay, it says right here, the 1997 OMB standard permit the reporting of more than one race. An individual's response to the race question is based upon self-identification. An individual's response to the race question is based upon self-identification. That's twice. The Census Bureau does not tell individuals which boxes to mark, right? So, Tiffany Haddish said, mark the white box. I marked the white box, and my life got better, right? Black equals slave. Listen, I said I'm white. I shared this fact. Facebook blocked me. Just reiterating. This is the etymology for hate. Hate. Regard with extreme ill will, have a passionate aversion to, treat as an enemy. I'm going to go a little bit further down. Sorrow, hatred, grief. Sorrow, calamity, care, trouble, sorrow, mourning, funeral rites. Facebook banned me, saying that what I shared was against their community standards and it was considered hate speech. So let's continue. I'm not sure if I shared. If I didn't, I'm going over it again. First, modern Britons had dark to black skin, right? Dark to black skin. People of white British ancestry alive today are descendants of this population right here. This is scientific fact. The first modern Britons, who lived about 10,000 years ago, had dark to black skin. A groundbreaking DNA analysis of Britain's oldest complete skeleton has revealed. Right. So the pale-skinned beings today who identify as white are not white. Those who self-identify as black, and those whites who told you you are black, in fact know that you are white. And that is a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. We're in North Africa. The Middle East, we know, melanin, right? Humans, melanin. Europe, first, humans, melanin, right? But yet the pale skins told you you're black, because they know the truth that black has no standing at law, and black equals slavery. And that's the facts. That's the facts. That's the truth. I stand by the truth. The aim of public education is not to spread enlightenment at all. It's simply to reduce as many individuals as possible to the same safe level, to breed and train a standardized citizenry, to put down dissent and originality, right? I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. John D. Rockefeller. To put down dissent, right? Non-descendable. You see how this is all coming together? To put down dissent and originality. That's very interesting when we were just going over this one right here. Non-descendable, right? Non-descendable, which is you're not capable of passing down anything because you don't exist, because black equals slave, chattel property of the corporation of the United States of America, because the United States is not a country, it's a corporation. And the fact is black has no standing at law. So I'm going to end the video on that note. One more picture right there. Oh wait, no, I have just a couple more shares right quick to put up on here. So we know that slave is synonymous with Negro, it's synonymous with black, African American. And slave, a human being who is owned by and absolutely subject to another human being as by capture, purchase, or birth, right? Or birth, bond servant, birth, check these words out, birth, bond, servant, right? Birth, bond, servant, right? We already know the fact that Negro, black are synonymous, right? The slave trade, it's about trafficking in slaves, specifically African Negroes. Here is a birth bond certificate, also known as a certificate of live birth, which is a document of ownership. Who owns a piece of property? The owner who possesses the title owns the property, this property. This right here says Negro. Negro. So it lets you know what type of chattel property that is subjected to the United States corporation, right? A subject, Negro, coloreds, blacks. This is the brand. What type of brand? Like Nike is a brand, or Nike, however you choose to say it. It's a brand. Black, African American. Those are brands. So, again, slave, black equals slave.
And if you type up black civilitas mortus, that is civilly dead, dead in the eyes of the law. And that's what black people are. The next thing is, if you look at, let's see, where do we have you? You're hiding. Okay, there you are. If you look at, type in Google, black is a status, not a nationality. That's not a nation, it's not a people, a land, a language, or a culture. It's an adjective. So based on that, that would mean black people are not a noun, and a noun is considered a person, a place, or a thing. So if you call yourself a black person, you're none of those, you're not a noun. And then on the flip side, you are not entitled to human rights either. Okay, just want you all to know. So you can type that into Google and it'll come up and watch the video and watch this Amrite explain to you that black is a status, not a nationality. And finally, before we go, this is the website here that you can see from the United Nations Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights. So for all these fools out there who want to say stuff about me, as always, until you guys get international, you're not really saying nothing. You're telling me by your actions you're a slave, a domestic slave, you're chattel property. So when you go, now the definition of free white persons, it includes all European Jews, more or less intermixed with people of Celtic, Scandinavian, Teutonic, Iberian, Latia, Greek, and Slavic descent. It includes Magyar, Lapa, and Finns, and the Basques and Albanians. It includes the mixed Latin, Celtic, Iberian, and Moorish inhabitants of Spain and Portugal. That would be what you would call in modern terms black people. The mixed Greek, Latus, Phoenician, and North African inhabitants of Sicily, and the mixed Slav and Tartar inhabitants of South. I can't read that there. Of South Rasta. It does not mean Caucasian race, Aryan race, or Indo-European races, nor the mixed Indo-Europeans, Dravidians, Semitic and Mongolian people, Semitic and Mongolian peoples who inhabited Persia. So that tells you that a free white person looks like this. Don't get mad at me. This is what it says right here. All black people have to do is start self-identifying as white, and 95% of their problems as being racially profiled or categorized will go away. It will disappear. It's that simple. But you got to come on our webinar, because our nation is an IPO, a CSO, and an NGO recognized by the United Nations. And for further proof, just in closing, when you go to this link, if you click on this link here, now if you type in Google Atsikata Nation mentioned in contemporary, what's going to come up is a book called Contemporary Critical Thought in Africology and Africana Studies. And what you see here is Atsikata Nation of Yamasee Moors. We're only one of 3 people who filed a UPR report against the United States of America. The rest of the so-called black conscious community out there are domestic Negroes. They're not listening, and because they're domestic, they actually belong, they're actors. They belong to the United States Corporation. So you got to go international, and you have to have your ducks in a row, and you have to do that. Now, no one in the Western Hemisphere can talk about that without going through our nation. Because if they go to the UN as black, they're not going to listen to them, because black has no standing at law. All the black lawyers, attorneys, black judges, black police officers all know this. So that's why it is important that you call yourself white. And once you know your family lineage, then you emphasize what your family lineage is. And yes, we are the original Native American. It's obvious that these higher educational institutions, universities, colleges, different organizations are realizing they have to tell black people on the planet the truth. And their concern is it's going to affect the fiat. But that's not our problem. And that's not anybody whose problem who wakes up and realizes they need to call themselves white. Abyu Gadur, Abyu Gadur, Abyu Gadur. White power, white power, white power.